when we're dealing with tactical situations in our community, in and around our community. So I want to thank them for their leadership, for speaking up, and for leading this effort, engaging in the conversation to create some legislation that puts us on firmer footing and again allows us to better serve our residents in this community. And again, I want to thank Representative Snodgrass and Representative Tussler for their efforts in shepherding this through. It's a complicated piece of legislation, it's highly nuanced, and their efforts to reach out to their colleagues, but also to reach out to different groups, interest groups around the state to make sure that we're all on the same page about what we're trying to accomplish with this work was so important, instrumental in getting this piece of legislation passed. So without further ado, I'd like to ask you to join me in welcoming Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers, who will share some words.
Thanks so much, Mayor, and good afternoon, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here today to sign Senate Bill 829, which expands the abilities of our tactical emergency medical service professionals. I want to start by thanking the folks at Appleton Fire Department Station 1 for hosting us today, as well as everyone who made it here today to show their support. Also like to recognize and thank the bipartisan group of legislators who had a hand in sending this bill to my desk, including the bill authors, Senators Weingart and Guevara, as well as Representative Tussler, who is here as well today, and of course Representative Snodgrass, who is also here. And finally, I want to extend my appreciation to the local leaders and dedicated emergency services personnel who established a successful tactical EMS program in Appleton that helped inspire this bill. You created a program that's been proven successful in the community, and now this bill will build on the groundwork you established. You answered the call to serve in some of the most high-stakes, high-stress situations, and I'm glad to sign this bill to offer you and others in your shoes the much-needed support by allowing tactical EMS to carry firearm. These professionals will be regulated by the Law Enforcement Standards Board. Your decision to serve our state as emergency response professionals is heroic, and it's our responsibility as a state to make sure what you're doing is part to, what you're doing, we're doing our part to ensure that you can do your jobs to the best of your ability. I've always said that much of the hard work that happens in our state happens at the local level, including our EMS, police, and fire departments. I've always believed that supporting our local communities is an area where we can work to find common ground and bipartisan support. And this year, we successfully worked across the aisle to provide historic increases in shared revenue to support our first responders and emergency response personnel who've been sounding the alarm for years about needing more resources. Today we're here together to show our collective support for our hardworking first responders who often put their own lives and risk theirs to save others. The bottom line is we need to make sure that they're able to do their jobs to the best of their abilities and protect themselves in situations where their lives may be at risk. So thank you all for being here today. Thanks obviously to the legislators and others who have played a role in this. And now it's my pleasure to turn it over to Representative Snodgrass.
Well, wait. That's what we do. Good afternoon. In the state legislature, you will often hear lawmakers say that the best legislation ideas come from constituents. And today is a terrific example of collaboration and municipal partnership. Well, the very best bills really do come when you choose to actively engage with those who will be directly impacted by laws like those we're standing here today before us to sign. No community is immune to gun violence, and in the worst case scenarios, every minute counts in administering life-saving triage and care to gunshot victims. With the signing of SB 829, allowing tactical emergency medical professionals to carry a firearm in prohibited areas, we are making sure that trained medics under the direction of police can enter a hot zone, begin treatment of the injured, and defend themselves if necessary in an active shooter scenario. From a kitchen table conversation at Station 5 to today's bill signing here today, firefighter Adam Pazer and Police Lieutenant Todd Peters have been integral partners in ensuring that this law protects first responders and confines the scope to ensure tactical EMS professionals operate under the strictest standards. Working together to understand the unique circumstances of a TEMS deployment and the desire to maintain the highest level of training and certification, the team at the Appleton Fire Department and Appleton Police Department provided critical context as we worked with Legislative Counsel, the Department of Justice, ballistics curriculum instructors, and gun violence prevention partners throughout the state. In addition to Adam Pazer and Todd Peters, gratitude goes to Battalion Chief Doug Brichek for his testimony and to Mayor Jake Woodford for his advocacy and testimony with key stakeholders in Madison and Appleton. I'd also like to acknowledge Representative Ron Tussler for agreeing to put his name on this bill and help carry it over the finish line in the Assembly. It is not surprising in today's political climate that it is rare to pull together municipal leaders, diverse public servants, a Democrat and a Republican on an issue of universal agreement. I'm very grateful that today we can model a statewide example of deep collaboration for meaningful impact on community safety and well-being. Thank you. And I'll turn it back to the governor.
Well, thanks everybody for being here. Let's sign a bill. I don't know. Any questions from the media? This is good. Enjoy. Take care, everybody. This doesn't happen often. This is it.
People are polite. They don't
People
want
are polite. Good.
Is this a direct result of Mitch Lundgaard?
I'm sorry.
Is this bill a direct result of Mitch Lundgaard?
I'd have to ask the legislators that.
No, it's not a direct result of that. It's a direct result of firefighter Adam Pazer and Todd Peters saying we have an issue that needs to be solved and we don't know how to do it. We're hoping you can help us. So,
Yeah. It's all good work. So thanks so much. It's a good example of working together locally and at the state level. So thanks. Right.